Adesso parte la moto. Hi guys, welcome back to The Morning Rant, the show in which I talk about my life as a TV commercial director and software developer, while I telecommute from my home to the office. Today is not the real thing because it's almost lunchtime and I'm here with my dog, Palf. The real name is Ralph, but I call it Ralph Palf. And I want to introduce you a super cool thing that I'm very proud of because I developed this stuff in 1 week and it's already a huge improvement in my life. And it will be a huge improvement in your life as a content creator because it's cool. I started creating one thing called NQR, that stands for Natural Query Responses. That is a set of tools that helps user and me in creating and requests for OpenAI ChatGPT and doing all the requests and all the stuff automatically based on the content. The first thing you have to understand is that this is the first movie of which title, tags, and YouTube description will be done with this system. And even this image is done with this new system. Okay, now I try to explain what the NQR does and how it can be integrated in your workflow. I started developing NQR as a standalone thing and now it's completely integrated in Transcriber. And when you will watch this video, I think that the new version of Transcriber will be out with this new feature. And believe me, it's super huge.
Introducing the new version of Transcriber with AI metadata. The new version of Transcriber adds a powerful new feature, AI metadata, which allows you to generate titles, keywords, key events, summaries, content list, tags, and metadata from transcribed text, using the most powerful artificial intelligence models available. Generating AI metadata is super easy. Once the transcript is done, select the new AI metadata tab and choose the prompts or set of prompts to generate. If you want to post the video to YouTube, place your mouse over the YouTube set and click on Add All Prompts. In this list, you can see all the prompts that have been selected, the generation of the title, keywords, and description. Then click on the Generate Missing Responses button and wait a moment. When a prompt is being generated, this orange icon appears. Once the prompt responses have been delivered, you can look at the texts that have been generated and also edit them. You can also generate alternatives for each prompt. To do this, click on Generate Another Version. You can select the various alternatives that have been generated with this selector below. Transcriber also enables image generation based on content using OpenAI's DALL-E models. An image generation prompt is created automatically first, and then the prompt is passed to the photo creation system. You can specify the model to be used, resolution, aspect ratio, and also the style. At any time you can add the new prompts in addition to the sets that have been created by us. To explore sets and prompts, select the menu window, Show AI Metadata Control Panel. In this box you can see all the prompts that have been prepared for you and the sets into which they are grouped. We have provided some basic sets that are already available for generating metadata for YouTube, posting on social networks, getting summaries and key points of text, and also for promoting podcast episodes. These default sets and prompts are continuously being improved and extended with new categories and new features, and will automatically update in the application whenever they become available. All prompts are in English, but they are designed so that the response and generated content are in the same language as the transcribed source. You can create prompt sets to suit your needs to meet your particular and specific requirements. When launching AI metadata in Transcriber, you can use the OpenAI models GPT-4, GPT-4o, and GPT-4o Mini. You only need to enter your OpenAI API key. AI metadata is a new feature of Transcriber, available for free as an update to all users of the app. Find out more at ulti.media/transcriber.
Okay, I started doing this thing because I found myself always asking ChatGPT for things about the content of my productions. You know, I record The Morning Rant in English. I started doing this once a week, but now it's once a month, and because June and July were very, very, very tough months. I think I never recorded a July episode of The Morning Rant, but sorry, my mistake. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. After the transcription, I took all the transcription text and then I sent it to a ChatGPT saying, saying, write a short YouTube description for the content below. And then I pasted the transcription and then I waited for the response. And sometimes I asked for another version or something like this. And the same for tags, and sometimes even for the YouTube title, I wanted to do something like a catchy title or a clickbait title. Okay, forgive me for this, but I have to leave. I have to feed my family. My young son is in the real seats, and you will not see him because I care for his privacy, like everyone does when they try to make you accept all the cookies and stuff like this. So, how does it work? Well, I prepared a set of prompts with something like write a catchy title for a YouTube video with the content below, and then the entire content of the transcription, and then new line and other free quotes, and then send it to ChatGPT using OpenAI APIs. And I started changing this prompt using a string with a percentage symbol, source, and then another percentage symbols. And then I grouped all these kind of prompts in sets. And this is done using an NQR panel. It's a proprietary app that I use only myself. And then I integrated this in Transcriber. So after the transcription, you can add new metadata. And it's not like you can write a prompt to do something using OpenAI. No. It's more powerful because all the prompts are already done. So if you just tap on the YouTube and select Add all prompts are added to the metadata AI generators. And then you have to just click on the generate all the requests, and all the requests are submitted and generated almost in real time. Something like a 4,000 words video is analyzed and then responded in something like 10 to 15 seconds. So it's very, very, very fast. You can select free models from OpenAI, GPT-4, GPT-4o, or GPT-4o mini. And I suggest you to use the mini one because it's the cheaper and the faster. You know, all the generations that will be done for this video that you are watching will cost less than a cent of a dollar. So very, very inexpensive, very, very effective. You can generate alternatives and then you can edit all the answers. And it's cool. It works, and it's helping me a lot in doing all this kind of stuff, not only for YouTube, but for social media, or doing something like a query, or on tags, arguments, bullet points, or to publish podcast on Spreaker. It is a very popular platform here in Italy or everywhere in the world. And then yesterday I started thinking, what if I try to generate another prompt, but today for generating images with artificial intelligence? And so I started writing a new prompt that analyzes all the content of the video, of the transcribed video, and then tries to identify the prompt to be used as a submission for generate images. As of today, I generate only the prompt, and so the image is generated manually via Copilot on Skype, so using the engine of DALL-E 3, or using Firefly, that is the service built by Adobe. That is the weakest one but it works. And using these long prompts, I know it's not like something like that I will be doing, but it's something that can be coherent with the content of the video. So it's quite good. And I plan to introduce the DALL-E 3 generation right inside NQR, because I know that DALL-E 3 generation is very, very expensive. For DALL-E standard 1024 by 1024 pixel, it's something like a 4 cents of a dollar. But for HD version in 16 by 9 aspect ratio, you can spend something like 12 cents of a dollar. So quite expensive to do testing. But why not? If you want to have this thing right inside your project, you can do that. At the moment, NQR uses your OpenAI key. So you have to type your OpenAI key, developer key, to do this, and then you pay for this. Ultimedia and FX Factory doesn't get anything from this, and that's right, that's good. That's not because we're good people. Yeah, we're good people, but there are two downsides. One, we don't do any penny from this, but it's not relevant today. B, we didn't have an infrastructure for doing pay-per-use. I think that 95% of people will not enter their API key because they don't want to use their credit card to register on OpenAI. Why? Because it's quite hard to register on all these kind of services, and then you have to register as a developer. And then sometimes you say, I'm afraid that OpenAI will consume all my credits, and so it's quite difficult to convince people to use their own credit card number. So this powerful stuff that now is inside Transcriber, it's free as a free upgrade, will be used by a little percentage of the people. But I think that content creator should give it a chance, because believe me, it's life-changing, because you have all this metadata structured in your project, always reachable and editable. It's much, much powerful than use it as a client in ChatGPT. Because if you use ChatGPT, all the content stays inside ChatGPT. Okay, you can copy and then paste it and use it locally. But with NQR, all the stuff is inside the transcriber document. So it's already there, and it's organized, categorized, and structured. So it's quite good. So I hope you will be very happy, like I am, using this new version of Transcriber. This is the last day of job for me before the holiday break. So I salute you, and I wish you a beautiful summer, a relaxing summer. So stay with your dear ones and have a rest. And please stop this global warming, because this planet is dying and we need this planet. As always, from Alex, ciao. Sì, dimmi, aeroplano? Ci sono gli aeroplani? A casa, va bene.